Hey, welcome to this new video. Do you guys know what this is? I'll tell you what this is. This is the sleeve, piston, and rod that comes in on the LRP ZR.32X 4.1 that I'm going to be installing on the LRP ZR.32 Spec 4. So practically what I've learned is that the ZR.32 Spec 4 is the same thing as the 4.1, except that the 4.1 comes with 7-port instead of 5-port. So just for shits and giggles, I'm going to convert my regular ZR.32 that comes with 5.1 port into the 4.1 7.1 port. Okay, so I'm learning as I go. I've never done this before, but I've taken this one apart when I got it brand new. I took it apart to put some lubrication inside, and it's been working ever since. So I did something right. And now we're just gonna, like I said, for shits and giggle, we're just gonna swap it out to a 7-port from a 5.1 to a 7.1 port. Since I can't hold the phone and with one hand and work with just one, I'm going to tell you guys exactly what I'm going to do. First of all, I already started taking away the lines, the fuel lines, and I'm going to unhook the throttle linkage that goes here from the carburetor. I'm going to remove the filter, and then I'm going to unscrew 4 screw that we have there on the bottom, so that way the engine can come out loose. I was able to find a tripod and hooked it up to the phone. So yeah, let's see what happens. My workspace is very limited, and hopefully this will do. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and remove the 4 screws that are attached to the body that's pretty much attached to the motor mount. Again, my space is very limited here, so I'm working with what I have, but I'm comfortable. Now it should come out. There you go. That's it. That's what it looks like. I gotta get some lighting here. Now we don't need the body anymore, which is because we're gonna be working on the motor itself. So the body goes out. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take off the exhaust pipe by removing the springs that I have here. I will be swapping this thing out soon because I don't like it. I want the VS Racing IFRA, if I'm pronouncing it right. I think it's the 2135 or 25, somewhere around there, but I think it's 2135, and hopefully we can get this guy out. This is just the regular Dynamite Platinum 053 MR. Oh, there goes the spring. We don't need this guy right here. And now I'm going to have to remove the pull start, and then I'm going to remove the aluminum head, a cooler, or whatever you guys want to call this. We don't need this right here. This is just something that I did to protect the head from scratches. It's been working out so far. I'm also using the red clutches, and this is a 15T clutch belt, not your original 13 tooth clutch belt. I'm gonna go ahead and set that towel there, so that way we have something to put the motor in and don't scratch anything. And now I'm going to go ahead and start taking that off. I'm putting my tools back the way that I found them as I go, since I won't be needing them until we start putting everything back together. And this is the right one for this screw right here. Now, carefully, because I had bad experience with this, I'm going to take off the pull start and make sure this thing doesn't come out the other way, this way, because then you're going to have a hard time. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to go ahead and put some tape around it so that way it doesn't come out flying, if anything. Okay, I got some electrical tape. I don't want this to be flying out, and I'm just gonna go ahead and put it down there. I wish I had better lighting in this room, but I really don't. And I mean, I can see good. It's just that I would have wanted to be better on the video, but I hope you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. I'm cleaning this here before I take anything out, because I don't want it to, you know, when I take this out, I don't want no dirt going inside there. And I'm going to go ahead and remove the pin that goes in there that helps, you know, turn everything out. Again, I'm not sure what you guys would call this, but yeah, I'll put it right there, that magnet. And I'm gonna go ahead and start removing the 4 screw here so we can get that back plate out. I like doing stuff like this. It entertains me, especially when, you know, when you're bored. You know, if you're bored and you have your RC cars or whatever you have, you know, that entertains you, go ahead and clean it, do something with it. You know, for example, me, I like to keep my RC cars clean, and I also clean them after every race. That way I have, you know, I have a clean car whenever I use it again. I don't really trash mines hard, but you know, and I don't race professionally or anything like that. It's just, I like to take care of my things. All right, we're gonna go ahead and try to remove this back plate here carefully, and that's what we're after right there. All right, so I added more light and it was killing me. I couldn't handle it. Now you guys should be able to see exactly. It's much better than what it was. Let's just put it that way. But you guys will be able to see now what I'm doing. And again, that's what we are after that right there. And it's an easy swap. I'm not swapping out the bearings, the back and the front bearings. I'm not swapping those out. I'm leaving them the same. This motor only has, I would say, maybe a gallon or 2 gallons at most, if anything, a little less than 2 gallons. So I feel comfortable leaving the bearings inside, and I'm not touching the crank. I'm just, like I said, I'm just taking out the rod and the sleeve. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting that this aluminum head right here removed so we can proceed with the next step. All right, so I got the right tool and I'm gonna go ahead and get that removed. Now, I don't want dirt going inside, so I'm going to put it right like this on this position, because I don't want any dirt from that in there to fall in or anything, if anything. See what I'm talking about? All right, so that's the head, and I'm gonna clean this guy out here, making sure that it's all nice and clean. There's a thing here. There is one little problem on why I'm not gonna be able to finish this today, because here's what happened. Alrighty, so there's a little problem here, not with the motor itself, but there's a little issue that I have. I've ordered the turbo head with the glow plugs for the turbo head, and when I received the package, I only received the glow plugs but not the turbo head. So I contacted the seller and they're sending me out the turbo head. Today is Saturday and the head comes in Monday. So I'm gonna have to wait to put this motor back together because I need to swap out the head. I want to swap out the head as well. I don't want to use it with the same head, and the head is coming in on Monday. I wanted to have an advantage of having everything ready, so when the head comes in, everything goes back in together and I don't have to take it apart again, hopefully until I do another rebuild. Okay, so now we are going to take the head out. I don't want to lose those shims. Putting that there, and yep, there's one more shim right here, and I will be cleaning these out as well. I'll be cleaning all that out. It has oil because it has after run oil in it. So I keep my engines, after every use, I put a little bit of after run oil just in case of anything. Alrighty, now the moment of truth to remove the head and sleeve that I have here. Now I've noticed that in some videos, they go ahead and put a zip tie and then push it up and the sleeve should come out. So we're gonna go ahead and try that. I have my zip tie right here. I'm gonna go ahead and push it in here and have it come out the exhaust hole. I'm gonna push up the piston. There you go. Even further up. So I gotta push it down a little bit so I can release my zip tie. And I'm gonna bring this guy out carefully. It's coming out really nice. And again, after every run, I go ahead and I put after run oil, so that way everything gets lubricated and we have the sleeved out. Okay, so yeah, look here, let me use a zip tie. Okay, so this is the exhaust port right here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ports. 0.1 exhaust, and the other one has 7 ports. I'm going to, this is still good. This sleeve and pistons, they're still good. So I'm gonna go ahead and save them just in case, if anything. I mean, you guys tell me if I can reuse it for another motor or the same block after I remove it and put the other one. If not, I'm comfortable buying another one if I ever need to. This is the old one. It's been burning pretty good. And now we need to remove the piston that's connected to the rod. Yep, there we go. That's crazy. This little thing makes a lot of power, in a sense of like, you know, it's just crazy to me that this thing right here moves the freaking entire car. That's awesome. Oh, it's been doing pretty good. Not bad at all. Let's go ahead and put this guy here. So this is the old one. And I'm going to go ahead and do some cleaning in this area so that way I don't have any issues. Like I said, guys, I'm not taking away the, I'm not removing the bearings inside because the bearings are still good. It only has 2 gallons at most. You know, maybe I'm just starting my 3rd gallon, a little less than my 3rd gallon, if anything. So I'm gonna just keep using the same bearings inside. Like I said, I'm definitely taking something here so that I can clean it, and that way it gives me a nice seal on there. I want it as clean as possible. I'm using a microfiber with a little bit of soap. Not a lot, just to remove the grime that was in there, and then I'll be adding a lubricant around it. Other than that, the engine is fairly clean. I mean, I'm not sure if you guys will be able to see inside. I doubt it, but it's fairly clean inside. There's no rust or anything, and it does have oil in there. Look, because I do run, like I said, I do have my I do put after run oil on after every race. And like I said, we're not going to be able to finish this today. For you guys, it's going to be like a second, not even. But, you know, for me, I'm just going to have to wait until Monday, which I don't have any problems because I wasn't going to use this anytime soon. But I did want to have get ahead of, you know, of myself, so that way we can go ahead and get that going as soon as we have to head, you know, get this thing back together. This is the new sleeve and piston and rod that's going to go in there. And this is the exhaust port. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. So 7.1. Again, this is the one that comes in on the LRP ZR.32X 4.1. By the way, I am using the carburetor already. I did notice an improvement on the with, you know, compared to the other carburetor, but this one is insulated and all. A lot of people have complaints about it, and I tell you guys that I have not had any issues with this carburetor, and this one is the insulated one. So I'm guessing people were having issues with the other one because the other one is definitely not insulated. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and put a little bit of lubricant here just to make sure that it's nice and clean. No water, no soap, no nothing, just lubrication. Now, this is a standard head that the LRP ZR.32 breaks. This is a standard, you know, just a standard head. This is not the turbo version. And I was using an R5. I don't know if you guys can see it. This is the R5 plug, you know, glow plug. I have not had any single issues with an R5 plug. I haven't tried any other. I don't want to try any other, but guys, I mean, I'm not perfect when it comes to tuning. I'm learning, but this little plug right here, man, it takes it. It really does. Now, let's see how many shims do I have here. I think it was just 2. Gotta be careful with them. 1, and I think I have the other one here. Yep, 2 shims. There you go. And let's see. Okay, so this one would be the thickest one, and this one was last. This one was first in there, so that's exactly how I'm gonna put it when I get the other head. I'm gonna make sure that the thick one goes in first, and make sure that the thin one doesn't get crumble or anything, because it is super thin. Making sure that they're nice and clean. I don't want any dirt or anything that can prevent us from having a good seal. So this one goes in first and then the other one. Not on this head though, because again, like I said, I'm swapping out the heads. This is what the it looks like from underneath. I'm gonna go ahead and start installing the sleeve and piston. One thing that if you're doing this, again, this is so easy. One thing that I would recommend is that please make sure that you do not install the piston this way in the block. It must go this way, facing you. So this face right here, the long part with the dot, should always be facing you, okay? Not like this. You see the difference? It has a channel there for oil, okay? You don't want that. You want this. Again, this is the old one, I'm just showing you. So I'm going to go ahead and get that going. Also, one thing that I noticed that the sleeve has a notch, and this thing has a little pin right there where that notch will go to. So you know you're installing it right. And I'm gonna put a little bit of oil here. This is just a little bit of after run oil, just to get it, you know, going in there. I'm not sure what's the proper way to do this. Sleeve first, piston first. I'm just going to go ahead and do it exactly as I did when I was taking it out, which was the sleeve first and then the piston. So the piston will go in first and then the sleeve. Okay, and remember, again, please remember that this right here, this notch with that little peephole there, goes in front of the motor, in front, and then this part right here goes towards the back, which, you know, towards your exhaust. Okay. It's just a little finicky, but it should be able to go in there with no problem. Okay, so it wasn't really, it's easy, but it's a little bit finicky. I was able to put the pin on the top and then slide down the rod and move it a little bit forward and then back, and it seated right exactly where it needs to go, which is that crankshaft pin right there. Now I'm going to go ahead and get the sleeve, and hopefully the sleeve goes in easier. Now we just have to align the pin with the notch that you guys see there. And there we go. And there we go. It's all in there. That's what I like about this phone. This phone really focuses in with no problem on little things. That is something that I can't do with the GoPro, but I do still like the GoPro for, you know, just regular blogging. And yeah, that is in there with no problem. Okay, it's all pushed down, and you know, yeah, there you go. It goes in, and you can see it there. Let's see, it's dark in there, that's why. Oh, there you go. There you go. And yeah, and then you guys see the little dot right there, right here. That's how it's supposed to go. Alrighty, so now we just need the turbo head to get everything back together. And like I said, it's gonna come in on Monday. Today it's Saturday. I'll see you guys in a couple of seconds.
A few moments later.
All right, so we have the last piece of the puzzle right here. This is the turbo head. This one will replace this one, which is the regular. This one had the R5 in there. Now I'm going to be using turbo plugs. I'm going to go ahead and start taking out the spacers that we have here. Is 3 spacers, and I'm going to leave them exactly the way that we're getting it from this head right here. And this head right here, we do not longer need it. I'm going to put this on the side and got my head all cleaned up here, my aluminum cooling head. Now we're going to get the turbo head and get it installed. This is what a turbo head looks like. So with this head, I don't need a spacer, a washer, or a seal, whatever you want to call it. I don't need that right there. You guys see it? That's the seal for this particular plug. I don't need it anymore. So now we have a plug that's self-sealed. All right, everything looks good here. We're going to get our block here, which is already nice and low, but doesn't hurt to put a little bit just in case. And we're going to put a little bit right here. I'm going to dab it a little bit so we can have a nice transition there when installing it to the block. Let's not forget the spacers, exactly the way we found them. Now I'm going to go ahead and get this baby installed in there. I want to see something here before I do that. Okay, there we go. And yeah, because what I want to do is I want to make sure that I have the cooling head facing the LRP right here, facing to the front of the vehicle, because it has some cuts in here for cooling where air can go in nicely, and right here on the side it doesn't. So I got to make sure that this faces the front of the car. Okay, we have everything aligned right here, and now we're just going to go ahead and start installing our cooling head with our big screws. Don't forget, those are it right here. And now we're going to go ahead and get the head installed. Make sure you get the right tools. Okay, got the right tool there. I'm going to go ahead and put the head right here. Make sure that my holes are aligned. Okay, just little by little, one at a time. And I'm not doing it all the way. I'm just doing it little by, making sure that they're tight, but little by little until they start seating properly. I mean, it's everything seated. It's just, making sure that they go in nicely. Okay. I think I'm happy with that. I forgot to hit the record button on installing the pull start assembly. Just make sure that you put in the plate good, make sure the plate aligns with the block, and then don't over torque it. Like I said, give it a nice torque, but do not over torque it. I think it's definitely aluminum, if anything. You just don't want it over torque, nothing. Don't kill it with torque. And then after that, just be careful when putting this on and make sure that goes all the way in nicely. Like I was saying, well, I am using the big red pull start over here. So if you have an LRP 32 and you need a pull start, I forgot how much this one was at the time, but it does work. The only thing you would have to do if you don't have space is grind a little bit of the plastic from the bottom, because in my case it was touching a lot on the chassis and I wasn't able to seat the engine right. Once I grind that, everything went in nice in place. The motor was really seating on the chassis, but the pull start works. Just want to give you guys a plus on that one. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this install on the Truggy. Like I said before, if you guys see the Truggy in future videos, that means everything's working. I'll try to get some videos of me, doing stuff with it, running it, so you guys can see that it works. And now this motor, the regular ZR.32 spec 4, is a 7.1 port, spec 4.1. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And again, if you liked it, if you have any questions, if you have anything, as far as, you know, just questions, just go ahead and write them down below. I'll be sure to help you guys in answering whatever questions you guys have with what I did. And if I can't find it, I'll try to link you guys to something. As far as, you know, from what I've learned, I'm not an engine builder, but I'm also not a professional or anything like that. It's just me enjoying the hobby and doing things that you probably should have even been doing. Anyways, I hope you guys like this video. And if you're new here, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.